Wait, he's Batman?
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill.
The Bat of Gotham.
I'm Batman.
Welcome to episode number 117 of the Social Hour, a Batman on Film, BatmanOnFilm.com podcast. I am the founder of Batman on Film, Bill Jett Ramey. I've been doing a Jett there. Ryan Lauer, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Bill Jett Ramey.
Yeah.
I don't know if when you were on Batman Book Club earlier this month, I don't know if I put Bill Ramey or Bill Jett Ramey. Forgive me if I didn't include the Jett in there.
There's the Jett thing. I've had people still like, where does Jett come from? And I'm like, it has nothing to do with Batman. It came from my very early coaching days, nickname wise. And there's a whole story about it, and I'll tell you later.
Hold on. I think you need to tell the real story, because didn't you ask AI and AI knew? Didn't that Chat GPT, didn't they know how Bill got the Jett name?
He is nicknamed Jett due to his affinity for airplanes, and I'm like, that is not it.
There it is. Bingo. Yep.
Yeah.
Bill loves airplanes. Nobody can see this, but you just got them hanging from your ceiling right now. All sorts of different kinds.
It has something to do with the origin comes from shenanigans back in my coaching days. That's early, like my second year coaching.
Shenanigans with airplanes. Bill Jett Ramey.
Yeah. So anyway, and then I just used it on when I started Batman on Film, because it was just like a handle, like a pen name, because I went anonymous, so eventually, but I'm Bill.
There it is.
You're
Bill.
Ryan. This is the Social Hour.
I don't have some kind of cool airplane nickname, so we'll just stick to Ryan.
Well, just wait. Wait.
Yeah,
You got my mind. Yeah, the gears are churning now.
I'll ask the Chat GPT. I'll ask that.
Yeah.
It's like, what's my nickname? And they'll probably come up with something.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, Batman.
I've heard of him.
Batman on Film.
Mm-hmm.
Batman on TV. Let's talk some Batman. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Oh, well, you went to Cleveland, huh?
I did.
That's why we didn't podcast last week, because
that's right.
I podcasted no Social Hour, and you were in Cleveland, Ohio, not Cleveland, Texas.
This was not a Batman-based trip, but Batman got included because I did wear a Batman t-shirt and randomly had something like, oh man, Batman, awesome shirt, and wanted to high five. So I was like, all right,
yeah,
look at that.
Yeah, that happens anytime you wear Batman shirts. You wear a Batman shirt out in public, that happens. And I'm saying that kind of tongue in cheek, but not really. It kind of does happen, doesn't it?
It happens with up in these parts. I think I've vented many times on here of being a Michigan Wolverines fan. And one thing of somebody wearing Michigan gear out in public, another Michigan fan yells, "Go Blue."
Yeah.
Always. That's how it happens. It's kind of the same thing with Batman.
Yes.
You wear Batman, it's like, something, you comment on the Batman gear, something like that.
Yeah.
I guess it's a code. I don't know.
It is a code. I mean,
get your fan card taken away if you don't.
Well, if you don't, and then because there's that secret handshake too. A Batman fans have. Yeah.
Too bad this is audio only. Otherwise, we could
Yeah.
show.
See, I'm showing
Could show what that
right
is.
now. I'm showing Ryan what it is. We're
It's a
actually
doozy.
we're actually doing it together, just virtually
Yeah.
at the same time. But if you don't know it, you don't know it. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Ryan?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Burn. That was
All
for Ryan
right.
Haas. Little earnest drop.
All right. All right. So Batman, real quick, we didn't talk about this last week because Ryan was out out and about in the great city of Cleveland, Ohio, doing all sort of Cleveland things. Right.
Blink-182 concert. That was the headline.
Yeah. Oh,
Concert was
okay.
incredible. They were fantastic live. Fantastic.
I get a kick out of
Garrett shows my love for Blink-182.
Yeah, I was just about to say I get a kick because I'm a little older than y'all, just a little bit, not much, a little bit. How y'all are the same, y'all are about the same vintage.
Yeah, we're around the same. Yeah.
Yeah, and y'all are the same generation. I never got Blink 182. Just it didn't jive with my
Sure.
music, my rock sensibilities. But I love I get a kick out of how y'all are close in age, and you share fandom things, and then one of them is Blink 182.
I mean,
Cool.
because it was a group of basically immature guys just having fun.
Yeah.
Making stupid, immature comments, and like you just want to say like bros hanging out with bros, and not like the douchey frat bros, but like fun, immature, and it hit me at the right age where me and other friends, like, we too were laughing, having good times, saying stupid stuff to each other, and just like goofing off, and it just can seem like that's what they're doing. And then I like they're catchy, like their music was catchy and stuff, and so I think that's why I don't know. I think that's why it jived with me, and it jived with a lot of others. But the concert itself had such a wide age range as well.
Yeah.
Which was great. And I mean, it was at I can't remember. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers Arena. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, it was packed.
Batman Arena.
It was packed. It was the Batman Arena. That's right. Yeah, it was so packed, and they were so good live. It was such a good concert.
How long did they play?
Good time. They played about 2 hours.
Okay.
And they did all their hits, and then some. It was good stuff. I didn't leave unsatisfied. Like, they put on a hell of a show.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good times were had by Lauer and his woman in Cleveland. Shout out to Cleveland. Shout out to all you BOFers in Cleveland. If you're listening now, hit me up with the email and say, I'm a BOFer in Cleveland, or on Twitter, wherever. I do have we'd have a co-host here.
A special guest.
Graceland Ramey in my lap. So here we go. All right, let's talk. I didn't talk about this last week because, again, you were in Cleveland. Couldn't even get Pete to come on, man.
He's busy these days.
The dude's too busy. Yeah, he got like 475 podcasts and like 20 different
75
jobs,
social media accounts, and everything.
Like he's working all over the tri-state area, from New Jersey to New York to the New York City, up to maybe even going up to Connecticut. Where I don't know where that guy. He just works. He works nonstop. All right. The strike, the writers' strike. Shout out to friend of the show, Tim Sheridan. I always click like on his tweets about, he's walking the picket line because he's a WGA writer, as we all know. So it's shutting down a lot of things, and it finally caught up with the Penguin. Not sure. I don't know. It sounded like they were out on location away from New York City itself, and we're going to shoot. And some Teamsters that were going to work on the set that day wouldn't cross the picket, so they had to shut it down. So I'm not 100% sure if the entire production has gone dark. I would always, I suspected it would catch up to it because it was filming and it's probably not completely written, as far as every episode. But I've
read enough not an expert, obviously. But I've read enough, watched enough that I think it's common for rewrites to happen on sets
Mm-hmm.
all the time. TV
Yeah.
shows, movies, etc. Rewrites happen all the time, I feel.
Yes.
And I think by it just it doesn't surprise me something in production would pump the brakes
Yeah.
from different angles. And one being for rewrites on set, if you don't have a writer there to help with rewrites, then what do you do other than just swing it? But is that really going to give you the best possible
Yeah.
material? Writers are crucial, period. In all, development of any kind of production like that, they're crucial. So, and then at another angle, like you said, of like crossing the picket line, it's like you have your friends and coworkers of picketing. Are you really going to be like, oh yeah, I support you, but I'm crossing the line, and like that's an awkward situation too. So
Yeah.
it
You
just
get
doesn't. I
labeled
think you
as,
even
yeah, you get labeled as scab. I grew up in Southeast
yeah
Texas amidst all the oil refineries, big union area. My family were union members. My grandfathers did both. They were, they worked at the Texas company, which became Texaco, oil refinery down there, like one of the biggest in the United States in Port Arthur, Texas. And they were union men, and then they became supervisors. And, they, when you're a supervisor, you're not technically part of the union anymore. And I remember they would strike, and they would have to cross the picket line. And that's the whole purpose of the picket line, is getting people not to that was Graceland, by the way, sorry y'all listening. So is trying to shut down the production, so as a bargaining tool, and there is, trades, other union trades won't cross it. So I'm not sure completely what the status is on a day-to-day basis. As far as the Batman, I did check, or Batman Part 2, I did ask around with people who know. And most of them thought that it would probably delay maybe until January or early next year, which is not a big deal. It won't affect the release date. But the thing is, you probably saw it. Matt Reeves was walking the picket line, him and Mattson Tomlin. I'm sure that
I love Matt Reeves' attire in the first picture that was shown. He looks so dapper, all dressed up. And then
I'm
he
sure,
actually yesterday, I think, he posted a picture of him with a on picket line yesterday too, that he was doing it again.
Well,
and
I'm
I think
sure
they're both credited as, are they co-writers on the story or the script or both?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And he is a WGA member, I'm sure. Even though he directs, he's probably part of the Directors Guild, and he's probably part of the Producers Guild. So I would say that, I don't think Matt, and I'm not trying to speak for Matt, but knowing, seeing him walk the picket line with the WGA, I would assume that he will he'll honor the pickets and the strike.
For sure.
And you know what I'm saying? So
I
hopefully,
think so.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so some like Tim Sheridan, you mentioned him already. Like he's one I would be like, oh man, do you have I'd like to just sit and talk to him about this to understand specifics on it a little bit more and everything. But I mean, it's also like that guy's got way more things requiring his attention than me, just because I'm interested. Of like, hey, I have some questions about this, sort of deal.
Where are your diamonds? I'm Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, I need the diamonds. One angle of this that I just actually thought about the other day, even. So remember, and this will, this can transition into our next subject with the Flash, but there's the Ezra Miller, was a hot topic of conversation last year and maybe the year before, but some troubles and stuff like that. And it was all about like, well, what about when they do the press circuit and being asked questions, and then they're just going to front Michael Keaton? Well, with the writer's strike going on now, all these talk shows are shut down.
Yeah.
So there isn't a Flash press tour in that
Yeah.
regard. So in a way, it's like it's able to avoid that subject coming up at all.
It's
On
like
the other
it's
way,
like, it's like there's a benefit and then there's a
yeah,
detriment,
and I thought about that too, and because I was thinking that too. I was like, it's almost a little bit of a blessing in disguise, but that's not mean to sound disrespectful, because there's a lot of people that are not getting paid right now because they're striking and stuff with all of that. But as far as directly relating to one specific aspect of the Flash, it's a way that they can avoid it. On the other hand, I was really looking forward to Michael Keaton doing the rounds
Yeah.
on these talk
Yeah.
shows, because I know he'd be great. And what would be the topic of every appearance is him as Batman. I'm like, of course I want to see Michael Keaton talk about coming back as Batman and stuff like that, because his little brief spots on like Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon, where he's talked about Batman, like he does light up a little bit, and he gets very like he's very fun to watch and listen to when he talks about Batman. So that was something I was looking forward to in these weeks coming up, and then we aren't going to see it because his strike isn't it.
I did not think of that, and I am with you that I was looking forward to Keaton's media rounds.
Yeah,
on those shows, and I love
because he's so good.
Yeah,
he's so good.
So wow, it's gonna have. Yeah, they're gonna have to lean into
bringing the mood down of what we're missing.
Yeah, no, they're gonna. I think Warner Bros. Will really have to lean into social media and websites and stuff to help promote it. With I know I'll get a ton of promotion material from them for the Flash, and I do my part with this because it's a Batman. I say that it's the new Batman movie that the Flash is in, right? Of course. But so we'll see.
You're removing a big avenue in your marketing, which is, I'm like, bummer. But I mean, it's out there, it's building. Yesterday I was in Chicago, I walked by a bus stop, and in a digital screen, like a big digital screen, was a Flash poster. The worlds will collide. And it was one that was like, like slowly, subtly moving. And it had Keaton's Batman, Sasha Calle's Supergirl, Ezra Miller's Flash right there on the front, and moving, and and stuff like that even. So it's like, oh, good. And I'm glad it's out there. But it's just like it's one big avenue that is going to be absent for this movie.
Well, that's going to suck. Okay, writers and producers and studios,
do it for Michael Keaton.
Yes, we got to get this. Come to a deal. We got to have Michael Keaton on late night TV.
Give the writers what they want. Renegotiate in 5 months. I don't know.
This will be a really Flash heavy show today. I was going to say, speaking of the Flash, well, that's about all we're going to talk about is the Flash for the most part. But anyway, just recap. I don't think that the Batman release date, the Batman Part 2 release date, is any danger. So unless this thing like goes on way into next year, which fingers crossed it doesn't. But I am, I do support the writers. I hope they get a good deal.
Me too.
100%.
From what I've read, we've both talked to we've talked to Tim Sheridan enough. You've talked to more people that are more directly involved.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I don't think it's unreasonable at all for what they're asking.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. Pay people what they're due, and then let's keep working.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yep. I'm with you.
But I mean, the last one was 2007, 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 100 days, I thought they said, and that was apparently seen as being pretty long. So I'm just really hoping it's 3 weeks into it at this point.
Yeah.
So hopefully, but like you said, the Batman Part 2, if the script was done, first draft or something like that, even, and the movie's not going to be, it's scheduled for release, let's see, 24 plus 28 months from now or something, it's like they have a nice buffer.
I have a good buffer,
which is good.
They have a good buffer. So, because you're going to start shooting in November, and let's say, you're almost 2 years. You're going to start shooting almost 2 years before the movie comes out. So yes,
yeah.
Even Graceland agrees. Yes.
Yeah, of course. I can see she's nodding.
So, as we speak, the Flash has already been screening for fans. There was an One Iota sponsored fan screening. Well, that's one of the screenings or screenings plural. There were what,
Mhm.
5 were sponsored by One Iota, and that was like in Orange County, Orange County, California, San Francisco, Dallas, New Jersey. So 4, maybe.
There's one outside of Chicago.
What? Okay. Was that part of the One Iota? Because there was
No,
also
maybe no. Nope, that's right. I'm sorry. It wasn't.
there was
That one wasn't.
because the other was through Warner Brother tickets, which
Randomly had
randomly
different showings, and
yeah.
didn't like. I don't want to say like push it anywhere that I saw. Shout out, appreciate Nico Caruso. He sent me the link for the one outside of Chicago. I had no idea how he heard about it, how anybody heard of these. It was just like
I
a word
think
of
that
mouth.
was through it's WBtickets.com, I believe, or WarnerBrothersTickets.com.
Yep.
They have spontaneous local screenings that you can get a ticket to. I think they got them through that. That was also one of the ways they screened it. But anyway, screenings are taking place, and so on one hand, if you're avoiding spoilers, you better stay off the internet.
Oof.
Because
yeah,
I know they ask the people who are watching it at these type of screenings that not to say anything, as far as spoilers and the plot of the film, but you can't control that. It's not like me going to a press screening and I'm under an embargo,
yeah.
If I broke the embargo, then I'm blackballed and I'm not getting invited and I'm done with that stuff. So I did try to get in the Dallas screening and did not get picked as one of the audience members.
Well, from what I hear too, that it wasn't even guaranteed that you were going to get in with some of these. So that would have been.
So you could show up and then not make it in, not get a seat in the theater to watch it.
Yeah. So and that have made, I don't know. So I got sent the link for the one. It was pretty much impossible for me to make it the one outside of Chicago anyway. And I mean, it would have been a hell of a journey and logistics and all that stuff that it was just like, as much as I'd like to, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll just wait and then really hope this stuff doesn't get spoiled for me. So like you even said, I went on a muting spree of words and terms because we got 3 weeks. I don't want stuff spoiled for me. And all it takes is one jerk face. To just sneak in a comment and ruin something.
I don't know if you knew this or not, but there are jackholes on social media.
You better mark this as explicit, Bill. Our language is getting salty now.
Yeah.
The J words, jackholes and jerk faces.
Yeah.
It might be an album cover of Blink-182, actually.
This is a real blue version of this.
This is rough, people. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Keep it classy.
So I'm trying to avoid spoilers at this point because I ran across one on Twitter this morning about one of the cameos from I did a freaking trade. The trade that starts with a V, probably the granddaddy of them all, right?
One of the two. I know another one comes out too, but that's why you're not going any further with it. But I saw you do that and it made me immediately go and mute because I just don't. I know it'll be tough, but that's why I just got to limit social media for 3 weeks.
Yeah, they just flippantly revealed one of the cameos in the Flash. So it's screening. I don't know if there's going to be more fan screenings. There is they had the fans. They call it early fan screening on Thursday the 15th.
There's an IMAX fan screening in select cities
on Monday on the 12th.
12th.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
one. I have tickets for that.
You got tickets for that one. Okay.
I got tickets, but I believe I am seeing it either that morning or the Friday or the week before. Depends on when the Dallas press screening is.
That was
But I
going to be
did-
my question for you. When are you first seeing it, and then have you gotten any other tickets
Yeah,
thus far?
okay. I will see it either the first sometime in this period between the week before or maybe the Monday before the release. Depends on when they set the date for the screening.
Mm-hmm.
I got tickets to the IMAX on the 12th, and I got tickets for Thursday at 3 p.m. for the early screening, early thing, whatever they're calling them, early fan screening. So, yeah.
Anymore, I know they say, like for this exact specifically, June 16th is release day. I wish that they just say, no, June 15th is. If screenings take place on June 15th, then June 15th is the release day, isn't it? Like every movie has quote unquote release on Friday. Not every movie. A lot of movies release on Friday, but yet the day before they
start screening at
screening,
1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon the day before.
Yeah.
Look, I remember when midnight screenings were new.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I actually went, and they were actually, the early screening, the midnight screenings were actually started at midnight. And the first one
That's late for you, Bill.
Well, this is,
oh boy,
look here. This is 1990. This is 95.
This is a younger Bill. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the Jett part of Bill Jett Ramey.
Oh wait, Jett was,
he was fueled.
Yes, yeah. Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I found out Batman Forever is having an early midnight screening. So we literally went to see it on the day it opened, which was the 16th of June, 1995. We saw it at 12 midnight on the 16th, not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on the 15th of June, 1995. But anyway, this is a sidebar story. So, I got tickets. I will have seen it 3 times before the actual release date. So
nice. Our tickets, we got 6:30 IMAX June 15th.
Okay.
Could have done 3, but then that creates take the day off from work and stuff, or at least at 6:30 I can do my duties.
Yeah.
And work the day and then go watch it that night. And I might just take the day off after. I'll see it at least twice that weekend. Probably 3.
I will say about those fan screenings one more time that they did their purpose successfully. That generated a lot of positive reaction. I mean,
yeah,
almost everything I've seen has been positive about it. So it goes along with what everybody's been saying before.
Yeah, I've limited my looking up, but of course I've come across, and pretty much everything I came across was really good.
Yeah.
So,
and I know some people who have seen it and saw it earlier have raved about it earlier than these fan screenings. So
we've talked about it on here, even of others, and test screenings and stuff like that, and that the movie's it's doing really good. So hopefully that continues to carry over, and the masses also find it really good, and I find it really good. I guess that's most important, huh? That I find it really good.
Yeah, long as you find it good.
Yeah, the hell with everyone else.
It's kind of the way I look at it anyway, for real. I mean, it's like, hey, I liked it, and do you wanna have a bad time and carry on negatively about it? Doesn't affect me, Yeah, doesn't affect me at all. So, all right. So before we finish up with these last 2 topics, let's take just a moment here for these words from our sponsors. All right, we're back. So speaking of back, flashback. There was a cool little featurette, real short, pretty short, about Michael Keaton's return as Batman in The Flash. was it Flashback Friday, Flashback Thursday? I don't know
Yeah.
how they
Flashback
yeah.
Friday.
And talked about it had the director Andy Muschietti. I'm saying that right, am I? Hope so.
Muschietti.
Okay.
Well, I
Andy
always go
M.
with Andy M. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the Batman book club rule. Andy M.
And his sister, the producer, Barbara M.
I'm glad that you said that. So
Yeah.
I totally understand, but they are siblings. It's a cool duo like that she produces. I think he's a co-producer but also a director, and they did like they're a team. They did it for the It
Yeah.
movies, and I remember watching the behind the scenes stuff of the first It movie, and that it was said of like them being siblings, and then I would hear people that would say of like as if they were a couple or married or something. It's like no, siblings. They are siblings.
Yeah.
Okay, carry on.
Yes. And they both, raved about how much they wanted. Like Andy, the director, was like, love Michael Keaton, love his Batman, and it was like and very important for me to have him in this movie. They worked really hard to make it happen, and yeah, it was just a cool little, if you're a fan of Michael Keaton Batman, which who isn't?
Yeah.
I mean,
Really?
Batman '89 is, he was the first dark and serious Batman, right? In live action. And Batman '89 is classic. And so if you're a fan of that, nostalgia really, having him back is really cool. And it doesn't show anything. There's nothing spoilerish, maybe a few new shots. There's some behind the scenes, what's what it's called behind the scenes there, shots of while they're filming. And I think there was one point that, Michael Keaton, it must have impacted him a lot once I know I've read, the story of him walking on the Batcave set for the first time, and he just kind of stood there looking at it, and
Yeah.
and
They
Andy
said that he
Muschietti was
filmed
like,
it.
yeah, and yeah, you could
Sent it
just
to
see
Tim
the wheels
Burton.
turning in his head, and filmed it and sent it to Tim Burton. Yeah, so you can actually, I did post that on Batman on Film. If you have missed it, just go to Batman on Film and check it out. So yeah, it was yeah.
It's stuff that I guess that you could say that like you'd figure, but also I don't know. It's a little, even for us to watch it, of like nostalgic. It's a good feeling watching it because you feel like you have the director and you have a producer that were both like, oh my gosh, this was kind of a point that really won us over, is that we could bring back Michael Keaton as Batman, and then to talk about his reaction to it and stuff like that. Like I don't know. It's a fun, fluffy 90 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it's on Batman on Film. So check it out. So let's finish up here. Warner Brothers dropped the final trailer.
Our discussion would have been done there. And then Warner Brothers last night was like, let's keep the social hour going.
Yeah. They said, here's how this went. Yeah, I heard that there's going to be a new social hour on Batman on Film. We need to drop a new trailer to give them even more to talk about. Or they, you know what? They're slick. See, they dropped it knowing we were going to do a social hour, and now we would talk about the trailer. We'll give that's free publicity. Huh?
Yep. You're welcome, Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
Michael Keaton can't do the press tour, so let's give it to Batman on Film.
Hey, I'm on offered up. Michael Keaton want to come on a Batman on Film podcast to plug and promote the Flash? Come on. Open invitation.
So the BOF podcast 201 or 202, might be 202. I got to interview Sean Murphy. And as we're talking, he flipped it and asked me some questions, said, who would I kind of lose it over? Standing right behind me, and I could sit and talk to, like Batman related. And I said, Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
I said, that guy is so, like, I love watching him as in interviews and stuff, because like he's interesting to listen to, but then also when the subject is fun and stuff, like he's very entertaining. Man, I don't know that I could handle it. I try to be professional. Bill, I don't know that you'd want to waste part of the time by having me on with him because I don't know that I could control it.
You could get it together, right? You could get it together for that.
I could. I'm a professional.
Yeah, you're professional.
Like, Mr. Keaton, what was it like? hard hitting questions like that.
Yeah. So yeah. Michael Keaton's has an open anybody has open invitation here. Come on from the Flash.
Yeah. Come on now.
Hell, Ezra Miller. Come on.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Let's talk Batman.
So this final trailer, I know what I hit you up about it. Well, I said we have plenty to talk about, and you discovered, like me, the trailer had dropped.
I didn't know what you were talking about. I was like, I guess we can fill an hour.
And you had told me, like, I don't know if I want to watch it. Because I get it, you get a point where you're like, okay, I'm already hyped up. I really need to see any more? I don't want to see too much, but I didn't think there's nothing there.
That lasted 10 seconds for me.
Yeah. Well, I know. I'm not going to watch it.
And then I was like,
never mind.
Click.
I'm going to watch it.
Yep. I watched it.
So nothing really new.
I'm never one that can say that I can't determine what spoils something for someone or not.
Yeah, well, that's
one
true.
person's definition of spoiler is that I reveal what happened at the end of something. Mine could be as little as, oh, I didn't know we'd see this person, and that spoils it for me. That doesn't spoil it for somebody else. So I guess I that's always my disclaimer. For me, there was like one quick little aspect. It makes sense that we'll see it in this movie. I didn't even think about it though, and this trailer had that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I don't feel like I didn't have any regrets for watching it.
No, it came off to me as pretty much a visual synopsis of what the film is about. If you wanted to tell, someone what's it about? All right, someone ask you, what's it about? And, it's like, well, Barry goes back in time and save his mother and does that, but jacks everything up. And then, everything's different world, different, all that. Anyway, and it's kind of just to me, it was a visual synopsis of what the movie's about. He goes back and things are all, timeline, reality, worlds are all jacked up. And
what I've heard from people with the screening was that there's humor, and this was a plus, that there was humor in it. And I think this trailer, of the three that they've shown for it, displayed the most. Not as if like this movie's a comedy or eye roll or anything, just like, I think fitting for the character of the Flash, of like, it's not necessarily as heavy throughout. Like, there's lighthearted, genuine, kind of like funny little moments, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I've heard this for a while, that how good Ezra Miller is in the movie, and he's playing two versions of himself. The today version and then the
multiverse
version. And they said that there's really a lot of humor, not slapstick and just funny to be funny, but of that dynamic, playing acting with yourself, if you will, So I'm looking forward to that, and you kind of get that in this trailer, I thought, more than we had. How'd
you feel with Time by Pink Floyd?
I enjoy. It was cool.
Yeah. I thought they mixed that in. They mixed that in really well.
Yeah,
without nailing it on the head of making sure Pink Floyd, it's the lyrics, right? Time, so that you're like, oh, hey, look at that. Like, they made it more subtle, but the vibe of it fit really, really well. I thought they cut that music and added layers to the music and the beats and stuff that I thought like that created a cool mood, a cool vibe for the trailer.
I don't know if it's worth mentioning that, because I didn't have it on our itinerary, but there have been some box office projections for it. Have you come across any of those?
Yeah, when I saw it, I mean, it had a nice margin, quite a wide
Yeah.
margin, which understandably so. Because when I read it, even it's like we're almost like at that point, it was even like 4 weeks out or something.
Yeah.
That thing's gonna get narrower as it gets closer, of
Mhm.
course. Garrett actually I think he made a really good point of of course, curious what the opening weekend box office would be, but then that second weekend to see if this beast carries how it carries, you know, in the following weekends and how it's drops. A lot of people probably like don't care, but there might be some people that come across it and are intrigued by the idea, and then they see more advertisements for it. They know people who have seen it that then are like, well, maybe I should go see this in the theater. So then, in hoping that it's not just us nerds going again the second weekend, it's other people that were hesitant have been won over by word of mouth. That's really curious to me.
I think the second weekend will be big, especially with it, it is in the summer and there's other tent poles coming, afterwards. So
I'm curious what comes out the 24th, like the following week. Oh, no. But because Indiana Jones comes out 2 weeks after The Flash.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know a big movie release coming out directly the week after The Flash.
I think they have a pretty
2 weeks.
I think they have like a good 2 week little window. They're kind of be their its own thing.
Which is
big
for the summer.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't initially going to be, it was going to be the 23rd because we were all like, oh my gosh, like Batman 89. But because Indiana Jones is coming out on the 30th, they wanted to jump up another week, which I think was a smart move. And then, I'm seeing now of June 23rd. I mean, there's no blockbuster coming out that weekend. So they got themselves some nice padding there that hopefully I'm speaking as if I've seen the movie and I love it already. I feel like it's probably good and I can probably expect that I'm going to like it so far. So I guess I'm not being completely neutral on it, but I just feel very much like I'm going to like this movie.
I feel the same way. I've been wrong before.
Sure.
There was that one time.
There was that one movie.
2016.
We don't speak of that. Deadpool. Okay, there you go, right?
But it looks like this is through Box Office Pro, basically. I like their analysis of the box office analysis. That's why they're called Box Office Pro. Makes sense, right? Yeah, makes sense. But it seems similar. Domestically, the opening weekend and the run is close to what the Batman did around that. I'm sure Warner Brothers would be very happy if it did domestically what the Batman did, or maybe it does better than the Batman. The Batman, you're looking back with the Batman, it's really remarkable how well it did. I know Spider-Man, the No Way Home came out and did $1 billion a few months before, but that was still in that, that it was March and it was, are people going to the theater because of the COVID, pandemic and stuff. So it ended up
a key part in a lot of this. I think what Spider-Man did, and I credit whoever marketed and came up with the idea, they made that Spider-Man movie seem as if like you need to, like, you can't, this is going to be like an event that you don't want to miss.
Yeah.
We can't tell you why, but you need to see this movie. You won't you got to see it. You don't want to miss it. And the appearance of it seemed like it was a big scoped movie. So how you said, I know you were talking about like, given the time that the Batman was released, the Batman, it didn't seem like it had some massive scope. It seemed like it was a smaller scoped movie. And I think in that regard alone, I think it did, for my opinion, I think it did really, really well.
Yeah.
This movie,
it was a reboot of Batman, another reboot,
which I feel like you're fighting. I mean, you're fighting curiosity, but then also sometimes people are just like, eye roll of the thought of another reboot. Here, I think a benefit of getting these early screens is that you're going to start building. You can get that snowball going, and it's just going to get bigger as time goes on to where to where it might feel by then. And of course, you said this. We've talked about it on here since, but June 2020 of Keaton's back. That's their big sell right there. That hopefully the movie's going to get to that point of like, oh, this is a huge scope movie that like you don't want to miss this one. And they're really going to push IMAX, because I think I even saw IMAX post somewhere yesterday, like the official IMAX account of like, you only have 2 weeks that you'll get to see this on an IMAX screen. Get your tickets now. You won't want to miss this one in IMAX.
I even put on my regular Facebook, like Michael Keaton, 71-year-old Michael Keaton is back as Batman. Yeah, I'm super excited. And I had people comment like that are, not
to group them, but general audience.
Audience, not like
that's not a slant, by the way. We say that a lot here. That's the cream of the crop and everything is general audience who aren't nerds like us.
That's what really makes a film successful or not.
Exactly. They're important.
Yeah. And people's reactions, like some of them didn't know.
Yeah.
So
funny to us when we hear that, isn't it? Like, how did you not know that Keaton?
It is.
We're so close to it.
And it was like, a lot of it was like, oh, I'm going to go see that just because of this, because of Keaton. And so let's be honest. They're really with the marketing and the publicity for it. It's really been Keaton heavy. And that's understandably so.
For sure.
I get it.
Batman's their big tool too. And then it's like, and hopefully in the process of this, you're going to get people coming out being like, man, of course, Batman was awesome. And you know what? The Flash was really cool too.
Yeah.
And maybe hopefully it's Supergirl, however much time she has, on screen. She's the third name on the list, right? On the call sheet, Sasha Kaye. It got Batman. He's always going to get you your names, but then hopefully you can bring some of your other properties to the front too, and get some intrigue and investment from audiences there too, and then get to bring good stories with them. So
it'll be
I'm
interesting.
All here for Batman.
Yeah, to finish up, I think if it does give or take of what the Batman did domestically, that will be a success. It'll be interesting to see what it does international.
I was going to say, do you know what its rollout is internationally?
Not sure. I know it's coming out like before we get to see it in the US.
It
like
is
in Europe and stuff. So like a few days. Cool. But there tends to be like movies like this do really well in overseas markets. The sci-fi action and kind of like superhero stuff. Yeah. So
cool.
Maybe it does better than the Batman internationally. And hey,
I don't know how China does with Batman stuff. But remember, China got hit at the Batman's release. So they had a really bad COVID outbreak. So then it took away them, which who knows? I have no idea if that impacted a large amount of box office or not. But curious how something like this would play in big markets like that too, just because I'm nerdy with that too. Box Office Pro, I like going there and looking at the numbers. And then a movie like this, if it's as good as it seems like it's going to be, then hell yeah, I want it to make all the money.
I one of my hopes coming out of this is that people love Keaton's return so much that you kind of force Warner Brothers and DC Studios to go, well, yeah, we got that Elseworlds banner,
I was going to say, I know where Bill's going with this.
Yeah.
Bang that Elseworlds drum.
Banner. So
you have two big drums. You have one for the Batman and you have one for Keaton Elseworlds.
Yeah.
Maybe a third that's just Elseworlds. I don't know.
So quite possible.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, people. Come on, general audience. Love that Keaton.
Yeah. I'll just call my mom. Mom, I already bought you your tickets. You don't even know this is coming, but you better go. I just
Real
bought you
quick
tickets.
before we get out of here, when you got your tickets for your
Mhm.
screening, did you go right when they tickets went on sale?
Yeah, I totally spaced. I checked early yesterday, and then Pete had actually texted and said, Flash tickets are live, just bought mine, and said when he was going. And I was like, oh crap. So I think they literally had just dropped, and then I got mine. And I mean, there had only been in my IMAX theater at that point, like 4 tickets were sold. And so I got my 2. I haven't checked since then. I should, just out of curiosity, to see how it starts to fill up. But
I had
that's
forgot that
genuine.
they went on sale.
Mm-hmm.
This is for that Thursday screening.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went and I got good seats for that 3 o'clock, but it was like a third to a half of was already gone. And I checked again this morning just to see. I was curious, and there's just those miscellaneous 1 seats, throughout.
Yeah.
That it's always, if you take one of those seats, you're that guy. I'm sorry.
You're that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as
So
the Thursday showing in mind, the middle section of IMAX is getting pretty filled up on the 15th. The 7 o'clock on Friday, the 16th, that's starting to get filled up in that middle section. Yeah, I'll just follow along, see how it starts filling up. Because there's also people that just show up. They're not going to do the
I
beforehand.
like to check that out. Just see how it's sold.
We have time on our hands. We're like, sure, let's see, let's speculate.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's going to do it.
Well, real quick, I got a question
go
for
ahead.
you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything left, toy wise, that you need to track down for this movie, or that you're gonna get for this?
One thing for sure, I want that.
Okay.
I want that bat wing from Spin Masters.
Is that the Target exclusive? There's like Batman and the Flash.
There's Batman and the Flash, and it's I want the bat wing.
The McFarlane $250 one?
No, the Spin Master. I got the Spin Master Batmobile from the Flash, and that thing is freaking good.
Yeah.
And the stuff the Spin Master put out for the Batman last year was good. Like, I got the damn Batmobiles right there. It's good. So I want that. And then I would like the McFarlane statue. Was it 13-inch?
Yeah. There's the $40 one.
Yeah, I guess there's
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right? It's a statue, not an action figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of Keaton as Batman. I'm kind of I saw how the prices dropped on the Batman, the Pattinson Batman one.
Yeah.
You can get it for like a third or a half of what it was last year. And I got it when it came out, so I paid full price for the Pattinson one. But those are 2 things I'm going to get. In fact, you just reminded me. I'm sure announcer Rachel's really happy about that. As soon as I get off this podcast, I'm going to go to Amazon and I want to see if I can find that bat wing, because I saw it there before.
I was trying to think of
trigger.
How to phrase it. The question. It's like one of like, do you have any more packages that announcer Rachel will not be happy to see show up in your?
I've been good lately. Recently. But I have got I've got the two McFarlane Keaton Batman action figures. The Batman and then one without the cowl. I got 2 of the Funko Pops, and that was with the cowl, without the cowl. I got the Batwing Funko Pop, and then the Spin Master Batmobile. Sorry.
I did the Funkos Keaton Batman and Affleck Batman, as soon as they showed up at Target, they were just there. Because I told you I always like the Hunt.
Yeah,
But I haven't seen the I don't know if it's 6 or 7 inch figures, McFarlane figures. They haven't shown up. The Bat Cycle has shown up. I've seen the Batwing, Spin Master Batwing. I just don't have room for that stuff. So I'm just hoping for the Keaton action figure.
Well, I don't have room
That's
for it
all I
either, but
want.
I'm still getting it, and I'm just gonna
Start
cram
hanging
in
it from the
somewhere.
ceiling with those other airplanes, Bill.
Yeah,
Bill Jett
Just-
Ramey.
yeah. See, it all connected.
It's all connected. Oh my god.
There's a reason why I want that Batwing so much, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Damn.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. I mean, announcer Rachel was in here the other day, and she's looking around, and she goes, "Where are you gonna put stuff? You know, how are you gonna get more stuff?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm fixing to get another little stand and put right over there and put some stuff on.
I'll find a way. Don't you
Yeah.
worry about it.
I'll find
Okay?
a way. Yeah,
There's room.
we'll find a way. So yeah, but as far as the Flash merchandise, I'm pretty good. Happy with what I got. Do you want to get that Spin Master Batwing, which I'm going to get? So
Yeah.
we're finished here. Probably.
I don't know that I
and
need to
then-
get a Batmobile though, because I think I put pictures in the BOF group of I put together my 3,300 piece Batmobile Lego set.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's right on top of my bookcase. It looks great. And I'm like, I don't know that I need another
long
thing
take
to
you
put out
put
on
that
display of
together?
that. I can't even, I don't know how many hours. It was like 4
Like
or
how-
5
like-
sit down sessions.
Okay.
And it was like one
Within
Sunday
one
where it was
week?
just
Within 1 week was it done, or did it
No,
spread
there was-
over a couple weeks?
it spread over a couple weeks. The final touches was probably like a 5-hour session where I was
Yeah.
just going. I'm like, I'm gonna put this thing together.
Just
gonna
freaking
finish
zone,
it.
just zone out and just go.
Yeah, I put on a
Yeah.
show, and I think it was because we were leaving. Yeah, the next day was going to the Batman in concert, and so it's just like starting my Batman mood, I guess. I'm like, I'm finishing before I go to bed tonight. Dadgummit, and I did.
Yeah, there you go.
And Bill Ramey would never put
There
this
you're
together.
going blue again on here.
Yep,
Watch that language.
explicit. Get that censor. That
Yeah,
sensor.
I'm gonna have to put, when I edit this, I have to click on the explicit.
Yeah.
This is
And tell everyone I apologize
close.
for Ryan and his potty mouth. Never again.
Jackholes, and dadgummits,
Jackhole,
and-
jerkface,
Yeah.
dadgummits.
Whew. Sweating.
Crazy. So-
Yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
Bill.
Anything else?
Fired up apparently.
Anything
all I
last
got.
thoughts? Yeah, that's all I got. I didn't get that damn McFarlane Batmobile either. Pete got it and loved it. I mean, I was like,
Yeah.
I got a bunch of Batmobiles. And that's
He is a 9-year-old with money.
yeah.
That's what he is. now.
Yeah.
He's a happy fella that now he can just go and get all of his toys. I think every day he's posting a picture of like, oh, my Target had this. Oh, my Target had that.
The greatest two things I had as a 9-year-old was my Evil Knievel action figure and stunt show. I had the whole 9 yards. You familiar with that toy?
Oh yeah. Is it Duke Kaboom? Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
Isn't he exactly
Yeah.
basically?
Yeah. Well, they had it, in Toy Story 4, you hit the thing and he took off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With the Evil Knievel, it was a wind up, and then you stop. That was, I love that thing. It had the whole stunt show, had the Evil Knievel van, and then I had the $6 Million Man action figures. Probably, man, they were like 12, 13
Wow.
inches. You seen that one?
No.
Yeah. You know the $6 Million
Dang.
Man, right? Steve Austin, the $6
Oh, yeah.
Million Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because I used
And
to
he had-
always think that was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And
You
then
could
I got wiser and said, okay, never mind.
I still have my Evil Knievel that's packed up somewhere. And I have that $6 Million Man. Now, a lot of times they're naked because I lost the, I lost
the trucks.
the trunk, whatever, the jumpsuits or whatever. But anyway, you just reminded me of 9-year-old. I got those when I was 9-year-old. That's why.
9-year-old
reminded
me had Christmas in 1995, which means it was a Batman Forever Christmas.
Oh, I was
It was one of the greatest Christmases I ever had because it was just
They had a lot of action
Batman
figures
Forever,
for
Batman
Batman
Forever.
Forever, huh?
yeah, had all that. I got the Batman Forever Batmobile which lit up and shot a thing out the front too. That thing was the bomb.
See, my daughter was born in 95, and hey, it was my kid. I don't care what, boy or girl. I was buying them Batman stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
I had a lot of that Keaton stuff from back then. There were different versions of the suit,
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
Yeah, a ton. That's what you know what? That's what they should release for online. Do a throwback of the Kenner toys after 89 came out and, had all those different colored suits and stuff. We've seen it in the trailer. Keaton opens up his bookcase and there's all these Batman suits. They needed to do a bunch of those 3-inch figures or something like that of those suits in the Flash.
There's got to be.
Buy them all.
That's
We'd
got
buy
to
'em
be
all.
coming, right?
It
You
should.
got to think.
Come on now.
That's money. That's
That is
that's printing money.
It's candy for us 9-year-olds with money.
Yeah.
Come on. I
Yeah.
hope so. I don't know who's
All
in
right.
charge of that.
But care to plug anything?
Yes, I can. I can plug the Batman Book Club. A most recent episode just dropped with one Sir Justin Kowalski talking a story that you may not know the story, but you know the cover. Batman Annual number 14 from the great Neil Adams on the cover. But inside is the Eye of the Beholder, the first Two-Face origin story post-crisis. Great discussion. Great book. Check that out. You post that on Batman on Film. And the episode before that was talking Detective Comics number 241, The Rainbow Batman, with one Bill Jett Ramey. He loves airplanes. That's also on Batman on Film. So check that stuff out. I have a review on Batman on Film for White Knight, Generation Joker. The podcast before the one with you is with the two writers of that issue, Katana Collins and Clay McCormick. Check that out. Also on Batman on Film. So I guess just go to Batman on Film.
That will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just go to Batman on Film, you find all that stuff.
It's all
I'll just
connected.
say, like Ryan's podcast, and there's several other all part of the, and this one is as well part of the Batman Podcast Network. Just go to Batman on Film, find the logo or the drop down box, and check out those shows. If you want to be a patron and help keep Batman on Film up and running, go to patreon.com/Batman on Film. There's lots of cool Batman 25. This is the 25th year of Batman on Film. Did you know that?
It is. Quarter century.
Brian, yeah. Started on Web TV in 1997, FY, or 1998. Ooh, I'm gonna lose my
Whoa.
BOF card. Wow.
You're gonna lose the Jett nickname.
Yeah. tpublic.com/Batman on Film. I think that's all I got. Just shout out, I will say this youngest spawn, Jake, is a college graduate
Hey.
from the University of North Texas, UNT in Denton, Texas.
Wow.
Got his degree, got it in 3 years, man.
Did the
Good
work.
for him. And then
Yeah.
also the middle spawn, Micah Ramey, who is a U.S. Air Force veteran, is graduating from the Fire Academy next week. So
Look at those
he will
Rameys.
be putting out fires in a town in Texas near you at some point.
There you go.
So,
Set fires and you'll get to meet
despite me, my kids, I got pretty good kids, so
There you
shout
go.
out to them. And
That
well,
Ramey
and my oldest, Mackenzie, did a satellite show with her last week. If you are a Harry Potter super fan like her, I am not. I'm a Harry Potter layman, but we did a satellite show, not about the Harry Potter movies or books, but about it being rebooted on for Max in live action reboot on Max. So check that out. That's all I got.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Batman-on-film.com.
Yes.
It's all connected.
All right. So for Ryan, I am Bill. Announcer Rachel will take us out. Catch you next time.
Thanks for listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official vlog and podcast on Batman on Film. Follow Jett on Twitter @Batman on Film. Follow the BOF newsfeed on Twitter @The Batman on Film. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on film, established in 1998.